Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
The entire viewing area under a heat advisory starting at 11 a.m. I'll show you when it will start to feel like the triple digits. It could be up to 106 feeling like this afternoon. A slight chance of thunderstorms later on today that may cool us down just a touch.
Beryl slams Texas and leaves a trail of destruction behind. The damage it caused, as well as what those folks are still facing here this morning.
And starting today, you can donate to the Tools for School Community Supply Drive. Coming up, how your donation can help teachers stock their classroom this year. Your takeout orders can now come with a cocktail to go. What's allowed in the new alcohol bill Governor Cooper just signed into law. I suppose it's happy hour somewhere, a different kind of happy hour right now. Good morning, everyone. It is 6 o'clock. We're happy that you're with us. And look at this beautiful sunrise. I'm Renee Chu.
I'm Jeff Hogan. Yeah, welcome to your Tuesday here. Thanks for spending the early part of it with us. As we look at the sunrise, beautiful. Okay, you step outside, 70s you see on the temperature, but the heat index today is going to be ridiculous. And it's so muggy when you get outside, Elizabeth.
Yeah, you really feel it when you step outside this morning. It feels like 104 to 106 this afternoon. Once we really get that heat going, that heat advisory, of course, it goes into effect at 11 o'clock this morning, but it doesn't expire until 8 p.m. I mean, look at this. We're not going to see our temperatures dropping back down into the 90s until maybe closer to 8 o'clock. This is our feels like temperature. This is the heat index feeling like 106 for a good chunk of the afternoon. We do have a small chance for showers and thunderstorms. It's a 30% chance mid to late afternoon. A few isolated thunderstorms are likely to pop up, but the coverage looks pretty minimal. So most of us will end up staying dry today. But the chances of rain continue to go up, especially as we get into Thursday and Friday. Friday, we could see a good soaking rain for part of the viewing area, and we'll take a look at that coming up. Pretty sunrise across the viewing area right now. Just a little bit of cloud cover. It looks gorgeous in Roxborough right now. 78 degrees in the Triangle with a dew point of 73, though, so it's very warm and sticky. Our actual high this afternoon, 98, of course, which puts us in the danger zone with that heat advisory. Eric?
Yeah, Elizabeth, definitely going to have the air conditioner with you when you're out on the road today. But you know what? So far, so good on the roads. A lot of green all the way across our map this morning. Taking a live look outside right now. This is I-40 at I-440. You can see the city off there in the distance. And those folks making their way in for work this morning looking pretty smooth there at this point. Same situation as we take a look in Durham, NC-147 at Irwin Road. Things looking very nice there as well. Of course, we know it's going to get busy later on this morning. We'll let you know as things change.
People in Texas and Louisiana are cleaning up this morning after Beryl slammed through those two states. More than 2 million homes and businesses in Texas are still without power this morning, while the heat index is expected to hit triple digits today. So no AC in those conditions. Goodness. What was once Hurricane Beryl made landfall on Texas Gulf Coast yesterday before weakening into a tropical depression. 3 people have died so far in the storm. There were more than a dozen reported tornadoes in Texas, Louisiana, and Arkansas as a result of the storm. Several communities in Louisiana have reported downed trees, power lines, and damaged infrastructure.
And because of those downed lines, Jeff, I thought it would be pertinent to at least show this outage map here. Good morning. I'm Chris Lovingood in the WRAL Live Center. This is poweroutage.us, and this essentially shows what the outage situation looks like in Texas. You'll see there on the eastern part of the state where that cluster of counties is. This is indicating more than 2 million customers without power. Now, this is kind of looking different, though, when we go to the Louisiana map. Same website, different state. Only about 23,000 plus customers without power. Looking at Encore, this is the company that provides energy to Texas. This is their post on social media last night, the X social media platform, showing where the possible tornadoes may have popped up. And I'll leave you with this. Entergy, another electric company, this is what they dealt with, that down power line. See that damage there?
I do. What a mess. Chris, thank you. The state's child care providers will get $67.5 million in funding. Governor Roy Cooper signed the stopgap funding bill into law yesterday. It's designed to fill a gap in funding that happened when federal subsidies for child care came to an end on July 1st. The new funding is expected to be enough to keep child care providers open for several months. Lawmakers are working to fund a more permanent solution.
Another new law signed by Governor Roy Cooper could change the way you order takeout. Now you'll be able to get a cocktail to go along with your meal. WRAL's Laura Levine joins us live from the Legislative Building this morning. There are still, Laura, some restrictions that come with these new laws.
Well, during the pandemic, when downtown Raleigh looked a little bit like this, a ghost town, very quiet and empty, bars and restaurants were able to sell mixed drinks and cocktails to go. But now it's making a comeback. Not only that, it is a permanent change. The state has officially legalized to-go cocktails. To-go drinks must be sealed and sold with food. They cannot be more than 24 ounces. Other alcohol changes in this law includes ABC stores can now sell gift cards. They can be open on New Year's Day, July 4th, and Labor Day. Airport vendors can now sell drinks that can be carried around the terminal, and beer and wine can be sold at community college sporting events. Now, listen to this. The state still does not allow ABC stores to be open on Sundays as well as happy hours. Laura Levine, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
Democratic lawmakers will gather for a closed-door meeting today to talk about their concerns about President Joe Biden's campaign. Ahead of that meeting, the chair of the Congressional Black Caucus says he remains fully in support of Biden. Congressman Stephen Horsford spoke with CNN last night. He says Biden held a virtual meeting with caucus members Monday, and he feels Biden is fit to serve as president. No member of the Congressional Black Caucus has broken against Biden yet.
And Renee, former President Donald Trump says he does not think Biden will step out of the race. Trump spoke by phone with Fox News' Sean Hannity live last night. He said if Biden were to step down, he believes the Democratic Party would back Kamala Harris for president.
It would seem to me that from a political standpoint, that's who they're going with. They're not even talking about alternatives. And it seems that if he gets out for whatever reason, and I don't think he wants to get out, but if he gets out, it will be her.
Trump's interview on Fox News came after Biden spoke with MSNBC's Morning Joe earlier in the day. In that interview, Biden firmly declared he is, quote, not letting up. In a letter sent to congressional Democrats, Biden said he believes he is the best person to beat Trump.
Police in Rocky Mount say thieves broke into a jewelry store at the Golden East Mall. Police say the break-in happened on June 23rd at Gold Rush Outlet. Investigators say they are following up on leads to find out who the thieves are. The FBI is helping Rocky Mount police with the investigation. Police have not confirmed how much was stolen from the business.
Covering Wake County this morning, you can help teachers who have to spend their own money on supplies for class. WRAL and Tools for Schools are kicking off a donation drive today. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey joins us live from Wake Forest Road this morning. Kelsey, we know those donations can go such a long way. When parents give, it means so much to the teachers.
Jeff, those donations can really make a big difference. It's hard to believe that we're even talking about back to school so soon, but you can see that the sales are already happening here at the Staples on Wake Forest Road. And this is actually one of the drop-off locations that you can use for the supply drive. And teachers could really use your help right now. This year's supply drive comes after Wake County teachers protested in April demanding higher pay. Teachers say their out-of-pocket spending for school averages more than $900 a year. Let's take you to video now from last year's community supply drive. Now through August 26th, you can team up with WRAL and Tools for Schools by donating. Teachers need pencils, Post-it notes, notebooks, and more. To find a drop-off location near you and more info on how to donate, just go to our website, WRAL.com, and search school supplies. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
Mark Robinson, who's running for North Carolina governor, plans to hold a campaign fundraiser today, hosted by a controversial church in Western North Carolina. Leaders of Word of Faith Fellowship in Rutherford County are hosting the event. The church has been accused of engaging in criminal behavior, including slave labor, financial fraud, and the sexual and physical abuse of children. Robinson has made speaking at churches a key part of his campaign for governor. His speeches have focused on topics including his opposition to gay rights, his opposition to abortion, and his support for traditional gender roles.
People in northern Wake County now have a new ICU closer to home. WakeMed North is opening its new ICU today. It's a 9-bed unit there. The addition is expected to reduce treatment time, also cut down on transportation barriers, with fewer patients having to be transferred to other area hospitals. WakeMed officials say the new ICU is fully staffed with new hires.
Tomorrow, a scheduled siren test will happen at the Harris Nuclear Power Plant. This comes after people got an alert to their phones from the plant yesterday that turned out to be a false alarm. Duke, this is the text message. Duke Energy says there was no emergency. The utility says the plant is operating normally. It's investigating why the sirens went off Monday. Disturbing charges after a series of thefts from cemeteries in Cumberland County. The Profit investigators accuse a woman of making through swiping memorial vases.
Plus, a United Airlines plane loses a tire during takeoff. We'll show you more of this shocking video.
And a high of 98 this afternoon. We have a heat advisory that begins as early as 11 a.m. So just take it easy out there this afternoon. Some changes coming our way. Look at that cooler high of 84 on Friday. That comes along with a soaking rain. I'll show you how much we could see coming up.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
6:13, we have a heat advisory that goes into effect at 11 o'clock this morning. This afternoon, it'll feel like 104 to 106. So it's another one of those days that you don't want to overdo it outside. Once we get past lunchtime, we're pretty much done with doing anything outside. It's just going to heat up so quickly. It'll already feel like 103 by lunchtime, and it'll be in the triple digits in terms of the heat index all the way until around 7 or 8 o'clock this evening. We have a small chance for thunderstorms later on today, but those will be isolated at best, so most of us won't end up seeing any of those today. Pretty sunrise happening right now in Raleigh, about to pop up right past those buildings downtown. 78 in Raleigh, 76 in Fayetteville, and 78 in Durham. It's very warm and sticky start right now. We'll see highs in the upper 90s this afternoon. Eric?
Elizabeth, taking a look at traffic here this morning. We've got a crash that's popped up just north of the belt line here just in the last couple of minutes. Taking a closer look, you'll see this is right up here, Wake Forest Road southbound near New Hope Church Road. Those sensors not picking up any major delays or issues as a result of that crash, but something you'll want to keep in mind if you're headed through that area. Otherwise, our picture looking pretty good on this Tuesday morning. Traffic flowing nice and smooth out there across the roads, including at I-40 at 440.
Thanks, Eric. The White House says a visit from a top Parkinson's disease specialist earlier this year was part of President Biden's annual physical exams. In a letter, the White House says Dr. Kevin Kennard has been the neurology consultant to the White House medical unit since 2012. Visitor logs show the doctor has visited the White House at least 8 times since last August. The White House says Biden has not had a neurological visit outside his annual physical. The logs do not provide reasons for Kennard's visits.
A Sanford woman is charged with a bizarre and troubling crime. She's accused of stealing at least 100 vases from graves at 2 Cumberland County cemeteries. 21-year-old Savannah Bourgeois is accused of stealing from Cumberland Memorial Gardens and Rockfish Memorial Park in June of last year. She's accused of selling dozens of those vases that are worth, in total, about $34,000. She sold them to a scrapyard for just over $600. She's charged with felony larceny and obtaining property under false pretenses.
Boeing is making headlines once again after another scary incident. A wheel flying off a United Airlines plane on its way to Denver. WRAL's Michelle McConaughey is here now with the shocking video. Michelle.
Yeah, Renee, this is scary. We want to show you that video right away. The tire fell off a Boeing 757. It happened yesterday at LAX right after takeoff. You can see it here bouncing on the runway. Then we'll show you the moments that the tire actually fell from the plane. It happens right here. The United flight was carrying 174 passengers and 7 crew members. You may remember back in March, something similar happened during takeoff. Another United plane was forced to make an emergency landing in LA, the tire slamming into cars in a parking lot. And then the pilot of the flight yesterday did not notice that tire had fallen off. An Allegiant Airlines flight saw what happened and immediately reported it to air traffic control. The jet landed safely in Denver. No injuries were reported, but it's so scary.
The cause of this boat fire in San Francisco Bay is under investigation. A 40-foot boat caught on fire shortly after it left the dock area there. Coast Guard says 2 people abandoned ship and were rescued by another boat. One was taken to the hospital. They are doing okay. Start of Paris Olympics, 17 days away now. Ahead of the games, today's Craig Melvin is sitting down with LeBron James to talk about how Team USA basketball is getting ready. They also talk about LeBron's legacy on and off the court, including the chance to play with his son, Bronny, on the Lakers.
When it comes to basketball, it's the greatest accomplishment that I've ever had. Done it all as an individual, but there's no greater accomplishment that would be able to overtake me being on the same floor as my son. So it's the greatest thing that's ever happened.
Coming up Thursday on Today, you can hear more of that interview, including why LeBron wanted to suit up for Team USA one more time in Paris.
It is 6:17 and making it through an extremely hot day. That's a great accomplishment. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. We deserve medals, Elizabeth, everybody in the Triangle.
We do. Earn that medal by staying inside this afternoon. We're watching for the potential for a few isolated thunderstorms that might help to cool off one or two folks, but we're just not going to see a whole lot of coverage. Right now, we take a look at dual Doppler 5000 radar, and all is quiet. Now, we did have a few isolated storms yesterday, and you can see up here around Northampton and Halifax counties, we saw a few pockets of up to 2 to 3 inches of rain. Also there, just a tiny little spot there in the northern part of Franklin County at 2 inches. And then down here around Hope County, Moore County, we saw about a quarter to a half an inch. But you can see how much of our viewing area saw nothing yesterday or just a trace. And so that's going to be the same thing again for today. We're just not going to end up seeing a whole lot. Of course, we're watching the remnants of WRAL here. This storm has, of course, continued to produce severe weather as the low pressure system that is now the remnants of WRAL continues to move northward. Overnight last night, there was a tornado watch, the red shaded area, and we also had several tornado warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings. Matter of fact, there's a new severe thunderstorm warning just northwest of Memphis right now. So this will continue to produce some damage and some heavy rain as it treks on up toward the Great Lakes. So in terms of WRAL, it's now just a tropical depression. It is becoming just a low pressure system really as it heads north. The heavy rain from the system stays to the west of us. And so we don't end up seeing any of that rain. But we do have our own system that is likely to develop to help to bring us some showers and thunderstorms. Today, it's just your regular isolated pop-up storms that we tend to see fairly often during the summertime. Not much to see. On Wednesday, we're going to see a cold front coming through tomorrow. That's going to bring us a slightly better chance of some storms, and then this front's going to stall over us and continue to bring us a good chance for some rain. This is a look at the rain from WRAL as it moves on up toward Chicago and the Great Lakes. Notice the rain here. We're going to see a low developing and helping to bring us as much as 2 to 3 inches of rain in some places. So there's a look at WRAL as it moves on up to the north, and of course a path of some heavy rain. And then we start to see some of this tropical moisture moving off the Gulf Coast and the Atlantic to bring us as much as 1 to 2, maybe even a bit more rainfall than that in some places as we get into the day on Friday. So it's a 50% chance Thursday and 80% chance on Friday. And some of the rainfall totals look like this for us. Some of our eastern counties that may see more rain on Thursday could total as much as 3+ inches. The rest of the viewing area, maybe 1.5 to 2.5 inches. So we've got some good looking rain coming our way by the end of the week and some cooler temperatures too on Friday with a high of 84. But today and tomorrow looking hot. We'll talk about our potential for a heat advisory tomorrow coming up, Eric.
Elizabeth, a lot of people staring at that Friday forecast with fingers crossed, waiting for that rain. We'll take a look at traffic right now. Things get a little busy out there this morning. I want to direct your attention to one crash in particular, and that's going to be up here north of the Beltline, Wake Forest Road, southbound near New Hope Church Road. We're not seeing any major issues on the sensors because of this one right here, but something you'll really want to keep in mind. Those two roads very busy as our morning commute gets underway, so you'll want to be looking out for that. Otherwise, things looking good out there on the roads, including out at I-40 at I-440. Traffic moving nice and smooth on those interstates for your Tuesday morning.
Wake County is remembering the life of Deputy Ned Byrd. The new way local leaders are keeping his memory alive nearly 2 years after he died in the line of duty.
NASCAR fans now have a larger-than-life way to celebrate the king. How this new sculpture in Charlotte showcases his legacy, coming up in What's Trending.
And here are your winning NC Education lottery numbers on your screen right now. We're back with What's Trending in a moment.
This What's Trending report, sponsored by Rug & Home.
Today in What's Trending, another popular movie from years ago has a sequel in the works.
Shocking, isn't it? Fans are getting excited about reports of a new The Devil Wears Prada movie. Disney's reportedly working with the screenwriter of the 2006 movie on a second film. Meryl Streep and Emily Blunt are in talks to reprise their roles. No word yet if Anne Hathaway will return, but I hope so.
I hope so, too. She's busy with another sequel, actually, Princess Diaries 3. Okay, so she's, just a few days ago, she said, the development is in place and she can't really say anything else about that. So it may be because she's busy on another movie, but Miranda Priestley, you got to have Meryl Streep in. If Meryl Streep is in, I'm on board.
Bring them all back.
Yeah. A new exhibit celebrating the legendary Richard Petty is now on display at the NASCAR Hall of Fame in Charlotte. A larger-than-life version of Petty's legendary hat was unveiled Monday. Petty's whole family was there for the big reveal.
This is so
cool. And it's big.
Yeah, it's huge. It's a statue. I mean, they rolled it out at the All-Star race in North Wilkesboro first time they saw it. And now it'll be there at the Hall of Fame where folks can go see it. And up close, there's pictures of all his family on it and everything else, race cars, all that cool stuff. It's really a nice tribute to the king.
Yeah, very fitting.
Baseball fans are honoring the legendary Willie Mays at the home of the San Francisco Giants. Oracle Park hosted a celebration of life ceremony for the Hall of Famer last night. Mays died last month at the age of 93. The park also opened an immersive exhibit where fans can see pictures and memorabilia from Mays' career and life. It'll be open through the end of the season. Child care providers in North Carolina are getting funding from the state. What's included in a new bill and what lawmakers still need to do to keep them open for good?
And a Raleigh woman who is blind wants change after she says an Uber driver intentionally left her in the wrong place. The push she's leading today for new safety measures on rides.
And we'll have a heat advisory in place today. Temperatures expected to reach the high 90s. This is a live look at Wrightsville Beach right there if you want to just cool off in your mind. Coming up, meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner has a look at the triple-digit heat index we will feel once again today.